Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class we were discussing about the rotation of earth and we have already discussed about many aspects of rotation, and in this class we will continue our discussion further. So friends, let's begin. So friends, in this class our first topic is speed of rotation. So first of all, we will discuss about the speed of rotation of earth. Now friends, the speed of rotation of earth can be measured in two ways. Okay, so the speed of rotation of earth can be measured in two ways. The first is called as the period of rotation. Okay, so the first way or the first type is called as period of rotation, and the second way is called as the linear speed of rotation. Okay, so if we have to measure the speed of rotation of earth, then we can measure it in two ways. The first way is the period of rotation of earth, and the second way is the linear speed of the rotation of earth. So now we have the question that what is the meaning of the period of rotation of earth and what is the meaning of the linear speed of rotation of earth. So friends, the period of rotation means the time taken by earth to do one complete round or one complete rotation. Okay, so what is the period of rotation? So period basically means the time taken by earth to do one complete round or to do one complete rotation. Okay, or we can also say that time taken to complete one rotation. Now what does it mean? So don't worry, I will explain it to you with the help of diagram. Okay, so I am drawing this diagram here so that you can understand it more easily. Okay, so let's suppose friends, this is earth. Okay, so this is earth and the earth is rotating on its own axis. Okay, so this is earth, and let's suppose that this is sun. Okay, so here I am drawing the diagram of sun. So this is sun and this blue circle is earth. Okay, now friends, just imagine as if you are viewing the earth from top. Okay, so you have to imagine as if you are viewing the earth from top. For example, this image represents the polar view of earth. Polar view of earth means when you will view earth from north pole. Okay, so let's suppose that this red dot is north pole and you are viewing the earth as if you are standing on north pole. Okay, so this is the polar view of earth. Okay, so definitely you can say that, sir, if this point is pole, then definitely this line must be equator. Okay, so this line must be equator if this is pole. Okay, so now I will tell you that what is the meaning of period of rotation. Now friends, we all know that the earth rotates in counterclockwise direction. Okay, so counterclockwise direction means the earth rotates like this. Okay, so the earth rotates like this. So now let's see what is, okay, so here you have to imagine that this is sun and this is earth and the earth is rotating like this. And you are viewing the earth from north pole. Okay, so now based on this imagination, I will tell you that what is the meaning of period of rotation. Now friends, for the sake of convenience, let us just imagine a reference point. So let's say that this is a reference point. Okay, so here in this position, this point is just facing the sun. So you can see that here in this first position, this point is just facing the sun. But as I have told you that the earth is rotating, so what will happen that after some point of time, this point, okay, so as the earth is rotating in this direction, so what will happen after some time, that this point will reach here. Okay, so this point will reach here from here after some point of time. Okay, as earth will continue to rotate, then this point will reach here. After that, this point will reach here. Okay, after that, this point will reach here. okay, but the earth is continuously rotating. So after some point of time, the earth, this point will reach here, okay, and after some point of time, what will happen, that this point, okay, means our reference point will reach on its original position, means in the position in which it was facing the sun. Okay, so our reference point will reach on its original position. Okay, now friends, actually this will be called as one complete round or one complete rotation, and time taken by earth to complete one such rotation is called as the period of rotation. Okay, so when this reference point will move, okay, when this reference point will rotate along with earth, and when it will reach back to its original position. Okay, so when that reference point will reach back to its original position, so the time taken by earth to complete this journey, the time taken by this reference point to complete its journey will be called as the period of rotation of earth. So this is the meaning of period of rotation of earth. When what happens, when a reference point after traveling reaches to its original position from where it started. Okay, so we can say that earth has completed one round, earth has completed one rotation. Okay, so for example, let's suppose if a person was standing here, if a person was standing on our reference point. Okay, so definitely this person will also rotate along with the reference point, because definitely the person is standing on the earth. Okay, so in this position the person must be facing the overhead sun, means it must be afternoon. Okay, but as earth is moving, earth is rotating in this direction, so after some point of time the person will reach in this position, so here the person will definitely face evening. Okay, but as the earth is rotating, so now after some point of time the person will reach on this third position, and here the person is facing midnight, and after some point of time the person will again reach at this position. Okay, and we can see that the sunlight can reach on this position, so now in this position the person must be facing morning, person must be experiencing morning. And friends, after this complete journey the person will finally reach to its original position, the person will finally reach to position number 1, its original position. Okay, so the time taken by earth to complete this journey, in which a reference point on earth reached on its original position from where it had actually started. So this is known as the period of rotation. Okay, and this is called as the one complete rotation or one complete round taken by earth. So period of rotation means time taken by earth to do one complete rotation, time taken by earth to do one complete round. So this is the meaning of period of rotation. Okay, so now friends, let us discuss about the linear speed, that what is the meaning of the linear speed of rotation. Now friends, for teaching you the concept of linear speed, again I will use the same diagram. Okay, so let's suppose this is the pole, this red dot is the pole, and this is earth. Okay, and this is the polar view of earth, means you are viewing the earth from pole. Okay, now let's suppose friends, let's suppose that on this position, okay, so see on screen carefully. Okay, so please observe this is this black dot. Okay, so let's suppose that this is an object. Okay, and this object is placed on the surface of earth. Okay, so this is an object and this object is placed on the surface of earth. Okay, now friends, we know that the earth moves in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction means this direction. Okay, so earth moves in anti-clockwise direction when viewed from north pole. So as this is the view of earth from north pole, so we can say that here the earth is moving in anti-clockwise direction. Now definitely as the earth will move, so this object will also move. Okay, so this black object will also move. So let's suppose this object started its journey from this position, but after some point of time, as the earth is rotating in this direction, so this point will reach at any other point. Let's suppose that this point will reach here. Okay, after some point of time this point will reach here. Okay, so what I want to say is that this object is also moving along with earth. this object is also moving along with earth. Okay, now friends, whenever any object will move, okay, whenever any object will move, so definitely it will also cover some distance. So this is a very simple thing, that when any object will move, so it will cover any distance. For example, if you will go Delhi from your hometown, then definitely you will cover some distance. Okay, and in covering that distance, definitely you will consume some time. Okay, so in covering that distance, you will consume some time. Let's suppose that the distance between Delhi, let's suppose that the distance between Delhi and your hometown is 200 kilometers. Okay, so here we are assuming that the distance between Delhi and your hometown is 200 kilometers. And let's suppose, friends, that you are having a very good luxury car. Okay, so you only take how much time? You only take 2 hours. You only take 2 hours for the journey from your hometown to Delhi. Okay, so we are taking an hypothetical example that the distance from your hometown to Delhi is 200 kilometers, and you have to come Delhi for taking the material for your IS preparation, for buying books, or for buying any other material. Okay, so you want to come to Delhi, okay, or you want to come to Delhi for any other reason. Okay, and the distance between your hometown and Delhi is 200 kilometers, and it takes 2 hours for you to reach Delhi from your hometown. Now what is your speed? Okay, so this is a very simple question of physics which you must have studied in your school. So speed means distance upon time. Okay, so what is the meaning of speed? So speed means distance upon time, means the rate at which an object is moving. So here in this example, you can say that, sir, I have covered a distance of 200 kilometers in 2 hours. Okay, so I have covered a distance of 200 kilometers in 2 hours. So I can say that, okay, so when I will simplify this equation, then I can say that my speed is 100 kilometer per hour. So I am traveling at a speed of 100 kilometer per hour. So what is the meaning of speed? So speed means the distance covered by an object in a given time. So definitely here I have told you that what is happening, that this black object, this is also moving along with earth. And when this black object will move, so definitely it will cover some distance. Okay, and definitely when it will cover some distance, so it will cover that distance in some time. Okay, so what you have to do for calculating the linear speed, that you have to divide the distance traveled by that object. Okay, you have to divide the distance traveled by that object by the time taken to travel that distance. Okay, so you have to divide the distance traveled by the object by the time taken to travel that distance, and then you will calculate the linear speed of rotation of earth. Why? Because this object is also moving, is also rotating along with earth. So linear speed basically means the rate at which the earth is moving. Okay, so what is linear speed? So linear speed means the rate at which earth is moving. How much distance earth is covering in a given time. How much distance the earth is covering in a given time. Okay, so for example, the person who was coming to Delhi from his hometown, he was moving at the rate of 100 kilometers per hour. He was covering the distance of 100 kilometer in every hour. So in the similar way, earth also covers some distance in a given point of time. Okay, so every hour earth also covers some distance. So the rate of the rotation of earth, the rate at which the earth is rotating, is known as the linear speed of rotation. Okay, so this is the meaning of linear speed. Okay, now friends, first of all, we will cover some important aspects about the linear speed of rotation which can be asked in your UPSC prelims exam. Okay, and after that we will discuss about the period of rotation in a detailed manner. Okay, so first of all, we will cover some important aspects of linear speed. Now friends, for discussing about the more aspects of linear speed of rotation, we will take help from two diagrams. Okay, so the earlier diagram, and here I have taken one more diagram. So friends, actually this is the polar view of earth. Okay, so let's suppose if this is the north pole, so this is the view of earth from north pole. Means if a person is standing on the north pole, okay, if the person is standing above the north pole, then the earth will look like this to him. Okay, and this is the view of earth from side. Okay, so this diagram is the view of earth from side, means if a person is standing on the side. Okay, so this is equator, you can see this is equator. So if a person is standing on the side and the person is viewing the earth, then this is the view of earth from side. So definitely this is pole, and this line is equator. Okay. So friends, in this diagram 1, okay, so let's suppose that this is diagram 1. So in this diagram 1, this red line represents equator. Okay, so this red line represents equator. And in this diagram means the diagram number 2. Again, this red line is representing equator. So what is this red line? So this is equator. Okay. Now let's suppose that if a person is standing on equator. Okay, so we will draw the person on both the diagrams. So first of all, you can see the position of a person on earth in diagram 1. Okay, and again I am drawing the diagram of a person on diagram number 2. Okay, so here you can see that if a person is, okay, so here a person is standing on equator. Okay, so first of all, we will take the example, we will take the help of diagram number 2, and I will try to explain you with the help of diagram number 2. So let's suppose that this is a point and a person is standing on this point on the earth. Okay, so this person is standing on a point on the earth and he is standing on equator. Okay, now friends, this is a person and another person. Okay, so let's suppose draw this person in green color. Okay, so let's suppose this is equator. Okay, and this green circle is actually Arctic Circle. Now what is Arctic Circle? This I will teach you later on. For the time being, you just imagine, you just think that this is any other latitude. This is any other latitude. Okay, so this is Arctic Circle. Now let's suppose a person is standing here on the equator and another person is standing here. Okay, so another person is standing here on this latitude. Okay, now I have already told you that the earth moves in this direction, that the earth moves in anti-clockwise direction. So this person, okay, so this person who is standing on the equator, this person will also move along with earth. Okay, after some point of time his position will be this. After some point of time he will reach here, then he will reach here, and finally he will reach to his original position. Okay, now friends, let's suppose another person is standing here. So I'm marking this person in red color. Okay, so another person is standing here. Now this person is also rotating along with earth. So after some time this person will reach here on the second position, and after some time he will reach on this position, then he will reach on this position, then he will reach on this position, and finally he will reach to his original position. Okay, now friends, if you will see the diagram number 1, then you can say that when earth will rotate, so the period of rotation will be same on all the places. Okay, for example, here the period of rotation is also same, here the period of rotation is also same, here the period of rotation is also same. Okay, and that is true for downside also, means for south side also. Okay, so period of rotation is same for all the places. Now what does it mean? So here please see diagram number 2. So what is actually happening? If these two persons are starting their journey together, okay, these two persons are starting their journey together, then definitely they will cover their journey together. Okay, and finally at same point of time they will reach to their original position. Okay, so here you can just imagine by seeing this diagram that if both of these persons are starting their journey together, okay, but definitely they are on different places. This person is standing at equator and this person is more near to pole. This person is at any other latitude which is more near to pole. But if both of these persons are starting their journey together, then definitely they will reach to their original position at the same time. They will reach to their original position at the same time. Okay, so this you can simply imagine by seeing both of these diagrams. So you can see here that what is happening, that the period of rotation is same for all the points of earth. It means that if this person and this person will start their journey together, even though they are located on different points, then also they will cover their journey in same time. So the one thing is clear here, that is the time taken by the persons the time taken by the persons standing on different places of earth is same. Okay, so we can say that the time taken by persons standing on different positions on earth is same. Okay, now friends, for calculating the linear speed, actually we need two things. So the first thing was time, and now we know that the time taken by persons, okay, standing on any position of earth, the time taken by persons standing on any position of earth is same for completing their rotation. Okay, for example, the person standing here and the person standing here, okay, so both of these persons will reach to their original position at same time. Okay, so both of these persons will reach to these positions at same time. Okay, and after that these persons will reach to this position, then they will reach to this position, then they will reach to this position, then this position, and finally they will reach to their original position at the same point of time. Means the time taken by these persons to complete their journey, the time taken by these persons to complete their journey, to complete the one rotation is same. Okay, but friends, for calculating the linear speed, we need one more thing. And what is that thing? We need distance. Now, what about distance? Okay, so let us discuss about distance. Now we know that time is same, but what about distance? So if a person is standing on this line, okay, so let's suppose if a person is standing on equator, then definitely you can see that this distance is very large. You can see that this distance is very large. And let's suppose a second person is standing here. So you can clearly see in the diagram that this distance is very small. And if a person is standing at equator, then this distance is even more small. Okay, and this distance is actually 0. Okay, so what is happening, that if we are moving from equator towards pole, so the distance is decreasing. Okay, so what is happening, that if we are moving from equator to pole, then the distance traveled is decreasing. Okay, but definitely time taken is same. Why? Because if a person is standing here, okay, and if a person is standing on this smaller circle, okay, and what happens, that they start their journey together, means they are rotating along with earth. Okay, so what will happen, that after taking one complete rotation, both of these persons will reach to their original position at same point of time. Okay, so what is happening, that the time is same, but the distance is not same. For equator, the distance is maximum. You can see in this diagram, you can see in this diagram also, that the distance is maximum for equator. Okay, so distance is maximum where? It is maximum for equator. But as we move from equator to pole, the distance decreases. What happens? The distance decreases. Now friends, what is the formula for speed? So I have told you that speed is equal to distance upon time. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Now what does it mean? It means that speed is directly proportional to distance. If the distance will increase, so the speed will also increase. But the speed is inversely proportional to time. Inversely proportional to time means if the time will increase, then the speed will decrease. And if time will decrease, then speed will increase. So speed is having inverse relation with time. If time is increasing, speed is decreasing. If time is decreasing, speed is increasing. But speed is having direct relation with distance, means as the distance is increasing, so the speed of rotation is also increasing. Okay, now what conclusion we can draw from this story, which is actually very important for our prelims exam? So friends, I have told you that the time is same. Okay, so the time is same for all the points on earth. Okay, so a person standing on point number 1, point number 2, point number 3 and point number 4. Okay, so let's suppose there are 4 persons. First person is standing on point 1, second person is standing on point 2, third person is standing on point 3 and the fourth person is standing on point 4. So when earth will rotate, so these persons will also rotate along with earth. Okay, and these persons together, they will reach on these positions. After that, together they will reach on these positions. Then together they will reach on this position, and finally together they will reach to their original position. Okay, so if they are reaching to their original position together, then it means that then it means that the time taken by all these persons is same. Okay, so the time taken by all the points on earth, the time taken by all the points of earth is same for completing one rotation. Okay, so here we can say that if time is same, then definitely we can leave this. Why we can leave this? We can leave this because time is same, means neither time is increasing nor time is decreasing. Okay, neither time is more for any place nor time is less for any place, means time is exerting no effect on the speed. Time is same for all the places. Time is same for all the places. Neither time is more nor time is less. So neither it will increase the speed nor it will decrease the speed. So this relation is not important for us. But this first relation is very important for us. And why this first relation is important? This is important because you can clearly see for the first person. Okay, so you can clearly see for the first person who is standing on the equator that he is covering the maximum distance. Okay, but the second person is covering less distance than the first person. Third person is covering even more less distance, and the fourth person is covering the least distance. Okay, and I have told you that speed is directly proportional to distance. So if distance will decrease, so speed will also decrease, and this actually happens. So friends, what happens that the linear speed of rotation is maximum at the equator. Okay, the linear speed of rotation is maximum at the equator, and as we move from equator towards pole, so what happens that the linear speed of rotation decreases. Okay, so as one moves from equator towards pole, so the linear speed of rotation decreases. Okay, so what is the relevant information for us? So the first relevant information is that which place on earth has the maximum speed of linear rotation. This place on earth has the maximum speed of linear rotation. So we can say that equator has the maximum speed of linear rotation. Okay, and the second thing which is relevant for us is that as one moves from equator to poles, as a person moves from equator towards pole, so what happens that the speed of rotation decreases. Now the third thing is also very important. Now what is that third thing? Now I have told you that speed is equal to distance upon time. Okay, speed is equal to distance upon time. So friends, if distance is 0, then what will be the speed? Okay, so if distance is 0 in this relation, then definitely everything will also become 0. Speed will also become 0. No matter how long the time is. If distance is 0, so the speed is also 0. Now friends, let's suppose that if a person is standing on the pole. Okay, now see the second diagram. Now second diagram is very important. Okay, if a person is standing on the pole. Okay, so you can see that if a person is standing on the pole, okay, then even though the earth is rotating, then also the person is not moving. Okay, so you can see that the person standing on the pole, will not move at all. He will cover how much distance? He will cover 0 distance. Okay, so if a person is standing on the pole, then definitely he will not move any distance at all. Okay, so what happens that the linear speed of rotation is actually 0 at the poles. So this is the third very important thing for us for our prelims exam, that what is the linear speed of rotation at poles. So at poles the linear speed of rotation actually becomes 0. Okay, so on which place of earth experiences maximum speed of linear rotation? So you can say that equator has the maximum speed of linear rotation. And what is the speed of earth? Okay, what is the speed of rotation of earth at equator? So you can say that roughly the speed of rotation of earth at equator is 1670 km per hour. Okay, now this is a rough figure and this is not important, and please do not memorize this figure. Why? Because definitely UPSC never ask any figure. Okay, so this is rough figure just for your understanding, that the speed of rotation of earth is maximum at equator and it is 1670 km per hour, and at pole the speed of rotation of earth becomes 0. Okay, so it is maximum at poles. The linear speed of rotation of earth is maximum at equator okay, and which is 1670 kilometer per hour, and it is minimum at poles and it is zero at poles. Okay, so you have to remember three things. Okay, and question can be designed by UPSC in any manner out of these three things. Okay, so you have to remember these three things. The first thing is that the linear speed of rotation of earth is maximum at equator. Second thing, the linear speed of rotation of earth is minimum at pole and it is zero. And the third thing is that the linear speed of rotation of earth decreases as we move from equator to pole. Okay, so with this, the topic of linear speed of rotation is now completed. Now friends, there is a very important application of this concept of linear speed of rotation. Okay, and this concept is actually used in rocket and satellite launching. Okay, so as you can see in this animation, okay, so this is the animation of a rocket launching. Now friends, you all must have listened about one thing known as escape velocity. Okay, now what is this escape velocity? Okay, so escape velocity basically means, देखो, actually see that earth exerts gravitational force on all the objects. Okay, so let's suppose there is an object. Okay, so this is an object placed on the surface of earth. Okay, so now earth exerts gravitational pull on that object, and due to the gravitational pull of earth, okay, due to the gravity or the gravitational pull of earth on that object, what happens that this object actually sticks with earth. Okay, this object remains with earth. Okay, so what happens that earth exerts gravitational force on all the objects. For example, earth exerts gravity on us also, on humans, on everything on the planet earth. Okay, so earth exerts gravitational force on all the objects, and due to this gravitational force, all the objects are held with earth, all the objects remains with earth. Okay, so now friends, let's suppose that if an object, okay, so let's suppose that there is an rocket. So this is a rocket, and if this rocket wants to leave the earth, if this rocket wants to escape from earth, okay, so the definition of escape velocity is explained from the term itself, that if an object want to escape the earth, if an object want to escape the gravitational field of earth, okay, so if an object want to escape from earth, then at what velocity it should be launched, at what speed it should be launched. Okay, so escape velocity basically means the lowest velocity which a body must have in order to escape the gravitational attraction of earth. Okay, so escape velocity means the lowest velocity which a body must have in order to escape the gravitational attraction of earth. So let's suppose that this is a rocket, and this rocket wants to go out of the gravitational attraction of earth. Okay, or in simple words, let's suppose that if this rocket wants to go in space. Okay, so if this rocket wants to escape the gravitational attraction of earth, then this rocket must be launched with a certain minimum velocity called as escape velocity. And if this rocket will be launched with escape velocity, then only it will be able to leave earth, it will be able to leave the gravitational field of earth. Okay, so this is escape velocity. Now friends, I have told you that what happens at equator, the speed of rotation of earth is 0, and at at poles. Okay, so I was talking about poles. So what happens that at poles the speed of rotation of earth is 0. Okay, at poles the speed of rotation of earth is 0, and at equator what happens that the speed of rotation of earth is maximum, and this speed of rotation of earth decreases from equator to pole. The speed of rotation of earth decreases from equator to pole, and it is minimum at poles, which is 0, and it is maximum at equator, which is roughly around 1670 kilometer per hour. Okay, so it is maximum at equator. Okay, so the linear speed of rotation of earth is minimum at poles and it is maximum at equator. So what happened friends, that all the rocket launching and satellite launching stations are either situated on the equator itself, or they are situated on the places which are near to equator. Okay, so the application is that all the rocket and satellite launching stations are either situated on equator or the places which are near to equator. Now the question is why? So the answer to this question is escape velocity. Why? Because I have just told you that any object, if it wants to leave the earth, okay, in simple words, if an object want to leave the earth, then that object must be launched with escape velocity. Okay, if an object will be launched below escape velocity, then it will not be able to leave earth. And if it will be launched above escape velocity, then it will be able to leave the earth. So what happens? We know that earth is already rotating at a speed of 1670 kilometer per hour at the equator. Okay. So if a rocket is placed on the equator, then the rocket is also rotating with the speed of 1670 km per hour. Means this much of speed is already attained. The rocket and the objects which are placed on the equator, these objects are already moving with a speed of 1670 km per hour. Okay, and what happens that with the help of fuel and engine, rest of the velocity is attained. So it becomes very easy to launch rockets and satellite from equator. Why? Because a huge amount of velocity is already attained due to the rotation of earth. So it becomes very easy to launch the rockets from equator. So friends, there is a very famous rocket launching station named as Kourou. Okay, and this Kourou is located in French Guiana in South America. Okay, so Kourou is located in French Guiana in South America, which is very near to equator. Okay, so this is a very successful satellite and rocket launching station because it is very near to equator. Okay, so this was actually very important for a prelims exam because this was the application part of the linear speed of rotation of earth, and UPSC actually likes to ask question from application part. Okay, so friends, with this the topic of the linear speed of rotation is completed. Now friends, after this the period of rotation is left. So now we will discuss about the period of rotation of earth in next class. So friends, that's all for today. I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all. Now friends, we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.